Welcome to the Patriot Barbie podcast. This show is made possible by Spreely Media. Download the Freedom Hub app today and join the free speech movement. I want to thank the people and the companies that keep my show going. All my sponsors can be found on patriotbarbie.com on my shop page. Century H2O, water systems for your home that provide clean, toxic free, fluoride free, and pharmaceutical free drinking water for your family and pets for under $300. Dylan's Restaurants has been a proud podcast partner for years, and the owner is my personal friend. With 4 locations throughout Arizona, you'll always find one to dine at and love, especially the zoo. Well, especially the ranch. Well, maybe the one floating on Lake Pleasant. Dang it, they're all good. Support your freedom loving businesses and please check out Dylan's Restaurants. Small business owners, claim your employee retention tax credit for 2020 and 21 with an accountant you can trust. If you don't know what this is, you could be missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. Go to patriotbarbie.com and click on my partners page to read up. My Freedom Cart, a conservative owned, made in America, toxic free company that lets you shop online and delivers everything to your front door. Clean products, protein, snacks, hair care, makeup, toiletries. Dude, ditch Amazon, keep the perks, and support a pro life and pro freedom company. MyFreedomCart.com. My beautiful smile is brought to you by Dr. Daniel Slyke. His dental team is passionate, detailed, gentle, and clearly very talented. My entire smile has been restored to stunning, and I owe it all to him. He's right here in Scottsdale, and consults are free. Go to patriotbarbie.com, look him up, and schedule your free consultation. Are you worried about spike proteins? If not, you should be. Get the spike formula developed by experts like Dr. Peter McCullough from the Wellness Company by going to twc.health/patriotbarbie. Listeners of my podcast can use code PatriotBarbie at checkout for a discount. You guys, once again, you can find all my partners, my makeup line, my Patriot wine, my merch company, and the Freedom Cart at patriotbarbie.com under the shop page. Now, are you ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome to the Patriot Barbie podcast. I'm your host, Lindsey Graham, author and conservative activist. I love Jesus. I love America. I'm a proud wife, mom of 3, and I'm having bold and witty conversations with America's patriots, the ones that cancel culture desperately want to blacklist. Trust me, I've been there. In 2020, I defied government lockdowns in Oregon, reopened my salon, and became an icon of freedom. I've been targeted by government and raging liberals every day since, and I refuse to back down. Patriots, I'm here to tell you, your values are worth fighting for. The Patriot Barbie podcast starts now. Welcome back to the Patriot Barbie podcast. 2A rights, Second Amendment rights. Man, we see all over the news how the government can control our guns, our ability to get guns, our ability to keep guns, what kind of hoops we have to jump through to have them, own them, sell them. It's kind of insane what our Second Amendment rights are going through. I have a guest here today that's just going to blow this whole thing open. I'm going to let him tell his story. It's going to be extremely powerful. Raul Mendez is the survivor of a mass shooting, and he is going to tell us what happened, how it went down, and the actions that he took using his Second Amendment rights to, I think, save some lives. Raul, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It is Raul, right? It's not
That it,
Raul. Okay,
yeah, Raul. Either way.
okay. I'm like white girl pronunciation. Yeah, I've read a couple articles about your story. I know that you're local here in Arizona, but I really want you to start, from the beginning and tell everyone, in detail what you went through.
Yeah, definitely. So it was July 3rd, long weekend, celebrating our freedom, and one of our friends invited us over to their house, for a get together, food, a bunch of friends and family. So it's just gonna be another typical, gathering that we've done before with people that we knew.
Mhm.
So no strangers, no nothing like that. So everything was going well.
What year
We
was
got
this?
there. This was last year,
Oh,
2022,
oh
July
wow.
3rd. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh
about
my
7 months
gosh.
ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So, we get there early. We're having a great time, and eventually, around 9 o'clock, maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock, we decide, to go light some fireworks in the front yard. Little fountains, just so the
Mhm.
kids can have some fun and things like that. A neighbor that we've never met actually came over, introduced himself, and made small talk. And eventually, the fireworks were over. So, by groups, we started heading back into the house, to go eat. Got hungry again. So he actually lets himself into the house. And the host, being a friendly neighbor, he, offers him some food, some drink, and everything like that, sits him down. And, he's eating, and we're all just there, still having a great time. Well, unexpectedly, unprovoked, we were my wife, two other gentlemen, two friends, and another female friend was on the kitchen island, eating there, just having a great time and talking. Well, this neighbor just gets up, pulls out a semi-automatic pistol, 9 millimeter, and just starts opening fire at all of us. First victim was literally right across from him. He shoots him right in the throat. Had
Oh,
no chance for anything. He just, hits the ground and just dies instantly. Shot him right
oh,
in the throat.
oh my gosh.
I was about 10 feet away. My back was facing them. I was in the dining area. As soon as I heard that first gunshot, I turned around, I turned over my right shoulder, and I didn't even have a chance to know what's going on or anything. He just caught me literally right here on my right side, caught me right there. Bullet went straight through, shattering my jaw, shattering my eye socket, shattered my whole nose, and this side, and the bullet just came out of my left eye.
Oh my gosh. That is so dramatic.
Yeah,
I cannot believe you're alive.
yeah, me too. I mean, the odds of surviving a headshot, that's a
Yeah.
miracle. I mean,
Okay.
one thing if he would have caught me right in my cheek and gone through, but he actually got on a really good part of,
You
right dead center of my head.
I gotta
Uh,
say, whoever fixed your face did a pretty fantastic job.
yeah, had a great
That's
surgeon.
amazing.
I had two
Wow.
surgeons that teamed up and they did an amazing job.
Wow.
Uh, I still have more surgeries, more, doctor visits and things like that to go to, but
Do you have
that's
vision in your left eye?
my left eye, no vision. They had to
Okay.
completely remove the eye. They try to save some muscle.
Mhm.
That way, when I get a prosthetic, it'll actually, turn with the other eye.
Yeah.
So they did an amazing job there. But
Wow.
pretty soon, I will be getting a prosthetic eye, and
Oh, man.
I'm hoping to look a little. I mean, at this, what's normal? But to me,
Right.
I guess normal is what I used to look like.
Mhm.
Because the only thing to me is I don't want my daughters, my wife, my family to look at me and just get reminded of that horrible event.
Right.
So,
Were your kids there? Your kids were there.
yes, my
Did they
two
see
daughters,
did they see this?
they were in the room.
Oh,
My wife was, so it was the shooter, empty bar stool, and my wife. So my wife saw our friend get shot, hit
oh,
the floor, and she's like, "What the heck is going on?" And then she turns over to her left to look at me. Then all of a sudden, she sees me drop on my knees.
oh, your poor wife. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Oh, I
she
can't even
runs to
imagine
me.
witnessing that.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
almost
yeah.
feel more
So
sorry for her than I do you. That would be
no,
horrific to
definitely.
see.
I mean,
Okay.
I
All
at
right.
least didn't see what happened.
Yeah.
At that point, I
Yeah.
was already shot. I hit the ground, and I mean, I was out of it. I was knocked out. So my wife runs to me, and I'm on my knees. She tries to tell me, "Babe, get up. Let's go. Get up, get up." And she's trying to like
You're
pull me
not
to get up.
unconscious? You're not
Uh,
unconscious?
no, not yet. From what she says, and she pulls my face, like, "Come on, let's go." And she just sees me full of blood and just dripping everywhere. And
Oh.
she said that she saw like my eyeball or something just dangling out of my eye, which
Mm.
she said it's like it was bad. She didn't know what to do. She's over here freaking out, trying to get me up. And
Mhm.
then finally, she couldn't hold me up. I fall to my side. I completely hit the ground. She tells me that, like, that was it. In her mind, like, my husband is dead.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
So thankfully, by the grace of God, the next thought that came to her was, hey,
The kids.
I got kids.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah.
They must be in the room.
Oh my gosh.
So
Was he still
everybody,
shooting? How
he
did
he he was still shooting.
and he
Yes,
but he didn't shoot her? Did he try to shoot
he
her?
didn't shoot her.
Did he shoot
So
did he
he
okay.
he he shot women
Yeah.
eventually,
Okay.
but from what I'm thinking is that he was trying to take out the men first
Mhm.
and then get to everybody else.
Yeah.
So he shot a buddy. There was another friend right next to him. As soon as this one gets shot, he bolts out.
And where did that guy get shot?
The second guy that ran.
Mhm.
So meanwhile, my wife is doing all this.
Mhm.
She then bolts to the room,
Mhm.
to the girls.
Yeah.
While she's running to the room, the shooter actually starts going towards the living room. There was people in the living room that are trying to open, the front door, the screen
Uh-huh.
door, and they're yelling and they're trying to run out. Well, the guy that got I'm sorry, so the guy that was next to the friend that got shot, the first one that got shot, since he ran, he was in the back. He was behind everybody.
Okay.
So then the shooter gets to the living room and he just starts, just shooting towards the front door, shooting towards the front door. People got shot in the shoulder, people got shot in the arm, and that poor friend, he got shot in the leg.
Okay.
So he hits the ground. Everybody was able to run out the house but him.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's there, literally on his knees, on his fours, and he looks up at the shooter, that's just literally walking up to him. And he's just like, confused. Like, why is he doing this? So starts telling him, like, why? Like, don't kill me. Well, no mercy, no nothing. He grabs his pistol, points it at the top of his head, and just executes him right there.
Oh my gosh. How do you know who witnessed everything that had happened right there? Because clearly he died.
There was other people. So again, I'm unconscious.
Mhm.
I'm out.
Yeah.
As soon as I got out of the hospital, like I played detective. Like I want to know what the heck was going on while I was knocked out.
Yeah. Yep.
While everything was going on. So, there was other people. Uh, Not sure. I'm not gonna. Don't quote me on this, but there was a doorbell camera. Not sure if the detective saw that or the
Okay.
homeowner,
Yeah.
since they're right by the front door. But this is just something that I heard.
Mhm. Okay.
He was shot in the leg. He was in the back of the line. Everybody ran out, and he was just executed.
Mm. So sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. What
So,
happens next?
so while all this is going on, I told you my wife ran to the bedroom.
Yep.
So she was 7 months pregnant at the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she was
The
7 months pregnant. She runs to the bedroom. She closes the door and she's able to move a dresser. Actually, like two dressers. She just starts moving things in front.
good. Good for
She
her.
said it was like, wasn't even hard to move it. Like, just
Yeah.
literally the
Super
adrenaline and
mom.
everything. A super
Yes.
mom,
Good for
Wonder
her.
Woman powers just came in and she was
Yep.
able to just slide everything over. You know,
7 months pregnant.
7 months
That's my
pregnant.
girl.
Yeah. Yeah, so then there was my two daughters and there was three other children in there.
Wow.
They're asking like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Like, somebody shooting this and that, and they're like, "Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy?" And the only thing she knew what to tell them was, "I don't know. I don't know." She couldn't
Mm.
tell them like, "Hey, he got shot in the head and he's dead."
Yeah.
I don't know where's Daddy, but just
Oh.
get in the closet. Do not make a sound. If anybody, nothing. Do not come out. Do not make a sound.
Yep.
Hide. Don't move.
Yep.
Throws clothes on top of him and just, she's there just
Good girl. Oh, I'm proud of
panicking.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, so am I. We all are.
Yeah.
She's just waiting for that moment for the shooter to come in and, kill her and possibly find the kids and,
Right.
execute them.
Yeah. So then, okay, so now while she's hiding away, is he still on a shooting rampage
Yeah,
outside?
so he's still on a shooting rampage. So since everybody ran out, everybody scattered, he decides to go to the master bedroom.
Okay.
Door was closed. There was three females and two kids in there.
Okay.
So he starts shooting down the door because it was locked, and she was the home or the host, the
Okay.
host's wife. So she was on the other side of the door. She gets shot. She gets shot about 3, 4 times in the arm and once in the leg.
Oh man.
He
Oh,
was
poor
able
thing.
to break through the yeah. He was able to break through the door.
Okay.
So I mean, he's pointing a pistol right at her, getting through that door. So she does what she can. I mean, her willpower, whatever strength she had, she was able to just grab his arm and not let it go where he was holding that pistol.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she pretty much tries to wrestle him off. He starts shooting, but he empties out his magazine as they're wrestling.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
A chick who's shot is holding him
yeah, three, four
hostage.
times. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So when he finally realizes that he's out of ammunition on that pistol, which he had more ammunition, he had another pistol on him.
He was ready.
He was ready. So
Oh,
he just drops the pistol, gets behind her, and just tries to finish her off by choking her.
mm,
You know, just grabs her and just that's it. Not letting go.
yeah.
There were two more females in that bedroom and two kids. So one of the females finds a rifle, an AR-15, but of course, no training, no nothing, didn't know how to
Mm,
load it. There
yeah.
was a fully loaded magazine in
Oh,
that same pouch, but she didn't know what to do.
yeah.
So she actually goes out to the rescue and grabs that rifle and just starts hitting him, just starts striking, the gunman in the head to let her
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
So he lets her go. They start beating him, and they're just pretty much just fighting.
So he breaks into a room full of women. One of them holds his arm, and the other starts hitting him with a weapon. And these women disarm him.
They disarm him. Yeah.
Oh, this is such a proud moment in history. Oh my gosh. But there's so much to like get into here. But keep going because I want to get the full story before we offer
Yeah.
any commentary.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So they disarmed him with that pistol that he was carrying, and pretty much I'm sure the shooter knew, like, hey, I need to get the hell out of here, regroup, grab my other pistol, and finish him off.
Right. But they're
You
beating
know,
him. How many women are beating him right now?
two.
Okay.
So the one that got shot,
Yep.
the other one that
So
came out with the rifle. The one with the
so good.
rifle was beating him. Not sure if the other one, from what I hear, is like she started, fighting him off too.
Uh-huh.
Grabbed his pistol and try to like beat him with the stock,
Yep.
or try to beat him with the pistol, and whatever, they're fighting. He's able to
Yeah.
break away from the fight, and that really good friend, the homeowner there, the one that wrestled him, that got shot and was holding his arm, she
Mm-hmm.
knew I carried. She knew I carried. So even after I got out of the hospital, I saw one of our buddies' funeral, and she was telling me, like, I was yelling your name.
Oh.
She was yelling, Raul, Raul, help, help, Raul.
Oh, this makes me want to cry.
Yeah. Little did she know I was already shot and most likely dead. She didn't
Mm,
know because she had gone into that bedroom to go change one of the boys, and the other girls followed just to kind of go in there, to get away from the whole crowd and everything.
yeah.
Take the kids and everything. So yeah, while all this is going on, I'm finally waking up again.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, so I'm waking up
Oh,
again, and the screams are happening, they're yelling my name, and at that point, that's where I had to make a decision. I'm still alive. I don't know if I'm going to stay that way, but if my best chance to stay alive was to just get the hell out of there, just
right.
walk out of that house. I was in the dining area, probably about 5 feet from that back slider. I could have just gone out that back door,
Yeah.
but I guess, my instincts, my everything, my love for my family and friends, and just, everything that I stand by just, couldn't let me do that. Most likely I'm going to die, but I'm not going to die without a fight. And so I decided to start walking towards that bedroom.
Good.
I pulled out
I mean,
my Glock, which I concealed a subcompact Glock 36, and 45 caliber, and I pulled that out. I always have one in the chamber, so I just had to
mhm.
just pull it out. I had it
I
out,
mean,
and as soon as I saw him, I put four rounds in him,
good.
4 rounds, and just shot him. And from what the detective said, is that two shots hit his heart, so he died instantly right there.
Okay. Wow. Good for you. I mean, this whole story, like, I did not expect this podcast to be so emotional, but this whole story just obliterates everything society is trying to tell us.
Right,
Toxic masculinity, right? Your instincts to get up, shot in the head, and go back in to save women and children. That's toxic masculinity, right? That is
right,
the type of manliness that God gave you and that the world would love to see obliterated is that
right.
kind of bravery. Um man,
Well,
the power of those women.
yeah. Well, honestly, it's like I'm not gonna say man or yes or a man, whatever gender wise,
Right.
a man. His only main responsibility is to protect his family.
That's right.
If he cannot protect his family, then he is not a man. He's
Mhm.
useless. And I mean, I don't want to be associated with that type of person.
Right.
And I literally had to learn that the hard way. I lost friends to death, and I lost friends for their actions that night.
Mhm.
You know, it's like I was shot and I still stood up and fought.
Let
They
me
were
ask you
perfect.
something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some of the people that were I'm picturing this hysteria, right? That were pushing the front door trying to get out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Were some of those men?
Yes.
Did those men know that you carry?
I'm sure. I knew them all. I knew them all very closely, so they know I always carry.
Okay, so those men are alive today,
Uh,
correct?
just the one at the end, the one that I said that got shot in the leg.
Huh?
He's
Yeah.
fortunately, yeah.
Well, and he got shot, so
But the other men, yes. The host actually, he had gone into the master bedroom to go use the restroom. He was actually one of the men that was standing in front of the shooter. So there
mhm,
was 3 men, but the host excused himself. Hey, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I think the shooter saw him go into the master bedroom, did his thing, and I think that's why he went into the master bedroom to go look for him.
okay. So
But as he's walking out the master bedroom, I saw it. He said it on an interview with I, I think CN or Channel 12. I don't know.
yeah,
I really don't pay attention. I just started Googling, surprise mass shooting, or just, Googling my name, Raul Mendez,
yeah.
shooting, and just viewing all the videos and everything. But he had mentioned that he mentioned it there. But when I got out of the hospital, he actually also told me that when he walked out of his bedroom, that he already had heard the first gunshot or quickly, and then that he saw the shooter pointing the gun in the back of my head.
Oh my gosh.
And so to me, he had a decision to make there. His wife and his 2 boys are in that master bedroom where he's just
Yeah.
walking out of, and he's seen which so-called we were, you could say, best friends, or we were really, really, really close.
Uh-huh.
He had a decision to make, and his decision was just to run out the house, where he could have easily ran back into his bedroom, grabbed an AR, grabbed a pistol, or grabbed something. But his choice was to run and just leave everybody behind. And
I
and, and that's
can't
and that's
believe
why
that.
I said, those, I lost friends that were supposedly friends, like, so close, like family, because of the decisions they made. To me, a lot of those people, they left me behind to die. They left those women in the bedroom behind to die, and they left my wife and my kids behind to die. You know,
Yes. Does his wife, are they still married?
I believe so. Haven't heard
I'd be
anything
signing the
otherwise.
divorce papers the next day my husband runs out of a house and leaves my children to die. Oh my gosh. And he has to live with himself.
Yeah,
He has to live with himself that in a moment where we're not talking about courage or bravery or instinct, we're talking about protecting your children. He ran.
yeah.
That
So
is disgusting.
that was the main reason everybody ran. But kudos to my wife. She ran, but she
To
stayed
her
inside
kids.
that to her kids.
Yes. Yes.
You know that the
Unbelievable.
kids she was protecting as well. The three other boys, they weren't hers, but she protected them the same way as our kids, and those parents, unfortunately, were bolting out the front and back door.
Oh
The
my
the one that
gosh.
got shot in the leg and then executed, his two boys were in there, and then the female that was standing right next to my wife, as soon as the shooting started, she was the mom of two of those boys, and she just bolted out the back door.
I can't even believe that. I can't even. That is so disheartening. It's so disheartening and heartbreaking to be those children.
Oh yeah,
And they're going to know once they start researching this when they're of age, or I don't know how old they are, but to see that your
they're
parent
they're, they're old
ran.
enough. They're old enough.
How?
It's
How?
it's unfortunate. Uh, I mean, and that's why, like, I had to stop associating with certain people.
Yes.
That's it. It's like,
It's
I,
unforgivable.
exactly. I want
It's
to associate with
unforgivable.
people that are willing. If I'm gonna call them close friends, they're willing to put their life on the line for
Oh,
at
yes.
least their own families. If
Yes.
they can't even protect their own
Unreal.
family, do I expect them, if I'm, if somebody takes me out, that they're
Uh,
gonna protect my family? Like,
that was
no.
literally the situation. Hey, if I'm
Exactly.
incapacitated, shot in the head, what are you going to do? I'm going to run and I'm going to leave my own kids behind. Like, it's so vile. I can't believe it's even true.
Right.
And and to think that if that father in the master bedroom, clearly the AR was his gun. If his
It
wife didn't know
was.
how to operate it or whatever, he knew how to operate it. He could have grabbed it and saved lives.
I
That's
mean, he could have saved lives. He could have. I mean, I would have been okay. I was already shot in the head. He saw me. He pretty much said that he literally said, "Hey, I saw the shooter pointing the gun in the back of the head of somebody wearing a black shirt." Well, I looked at all the pictures and everything from that night. I was the only person wearing a black shirt, and I was, of course, the only one.
I just
So
oh
he
my
saw that, and his decision was to run out. I at least can give him kudos that his daughter was right next to him, so he grabbed her hand and ran out the house. But I mean, the way I see it and the way I tell my family, we don't leave nobody behind. It's either we all live together or we die together. I will die proudly trying to protect, one of my other kids, even though I can save one. Like I said, it's either
all or nothing.
all or nothing, all or
Well,
nothing.
and if he didn't have a weapon, if he didn't have a gun and he didn't know how to use it and he thought there was nothing he could do, grab your kids and run. But those two important things, grab your kids and run.
All
He
of
had
them.
a weapon. He had that very clear, concise moment when he should have known this is the reason I have a gun to protect my family. I mean, what? Why does he even own it? I mean, if this is the
Right?
situation, a mass shooter is in your house.
What are you gonna
Why
do
do you
about
even
it?
own a gun? In what other situation will you need it except for this one?
The way I see it, he is responsible for all the guests in his house. You
Yes.
invite people over, you are responsible.
Yes.
So I mean,
And and you're certainly responsible for your own family. So
oh,
there is
the hands
no
down, you're responsible for your family no matter where you are, what you're
oh,
doing. Doesn't matter. Hands down, 100%, you are responsible for your family.
yes.
And like I
So
said, what I would have done if I was next to one of my daughters and my other kids and my wife were in a bedroom, I would have grabbed her hand, yanked her to the bedroom, and said, "Go hide in the closet. Either
Yep.
we all make it or we're all dying. I love you guys. Wish me luck."
Yep.
Grabbed the rifle and protected my home.
Right.
That's what I would have done.
Did you? That's what you did do.
Well, it,
um.
it wasn't my home,
Right.
but
But I
I
mean,
took it
you.
upon myself, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the one that rose to the occasion and protected his home.
Right. Protected his family. So, how many people were in the home that made it out alive
Ah, man.
after he was shot? Because he had a whole nother magazine, right? How many rounds?
I'm not sure details
Okay.
like that, but from the
Mhm.
with the detective, he did have another pistol, and I didn't hear this other thing from the detective. I heard it from the friends or the people that
Mhm.
were there, that he had a pocket full of shoelaces. Tie people up.
Oh,
Yeah, like some weird. That's some
that
weird.
or
You know
or
what I mean?
strangle
Yeah,
people
like
if he ran out of bullets. Oh,
strangle,
that's
tie him up or
strange.
something. I don't know. That was just like wow. Like he must have been really sick in the head or
Oh my gosh. So no one ever knew, right? Because he's
no.
dead. No one ever
Yeah,
knew why he did it.
yeah.
Did he have any family or friends come forward and say, "Hey, he was kind of a little strange" or anything?
No.
Was he a
I
single person?
I know he was in the middle of a divorce and he has two kids.
Interesting.
Custody battle. I honestly, at this point, his background, his motive, his family, his everything. I don't lose sleep over it. I don't
Mm-mm.
care.
No.
I'm proud of the way I handled myself. I'm proud
Yep.
of the way my wife handled herself. And I'm even
Mm-hmm.
proud of the way those two women in that master bedroom handled themselves.
Yeah.
Things
Oh
could have
yeah.
gone, things could have gone a lot worse. And um, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm proud of the situation, but
No.
I'm proud of what we overcame during that
Yeah.
situation,
Oh,
this
it's
unexpected,
absolutely.
horrific, situation. So,
Yes. You certainly should be. Um, okay, so
so let
this,
me just go back, and I want to just
okay.
finish the details of the whole
Yeah.
story.
Okay.
Because I shot him, he went down, and I'm still out of it. I'm
Hmm.
missing an eye. I have blood everywhere. My vision
Ooh.
is not, anywhere
I would like
perfect.
to I would like to stop and acknowledge for a moment that people that you shot and aimed with one eye.
With well,
That
yeah, one eye with blood everywhere. So I still couldn't see
that's
clearly,
amazing.
but I mean, I saw the whole body or the body mass, and I
Mhm.
just went for the upper dead center. And so
Good for
that's where
you.
I aimed, and of course
Good.
that's hit him in the
That's
chest,
that's what training tells you.
four
Yep.
times,
Shoot to
and
kill.
thankfully I hit his heart twice.
Yeah, good for you. Wow. Okay, so sorry, go back.
Oh, no, no, no worries.
Yeah.
So I guess eventually one of the other guys comes back into the house. I don't know why, like he's gonna save the day, or I don't know. Whatever.
Hmm.
He goes back into the house, and I guess he sees me, and he knows there's women, or he starts kind of looking around the house, and he goes to that bedroom. He knows the door's locked. He starts banging on the door, and he's like, "Hey, hey, come out! The shooter's done. The shooter's dead. The shooter's dead." It's like, "No, I don't believe you." My wife's like, just doesn't,
Good for
doesn't know
her.
what's going on. Like
Yeah,
what
I
the
mean
heck?
that's
So
scary.
I don't believe. No, he's like, "No, it's me." I'm not gonna say names, but he said, "Say, hey, it's me."
Yeah.
This person,
Yeah.
and he's like, "No, the shooter's dead. Your husband killed him." Like what? Like no, you're crazy.
Oh,
My
yeah, because
husband's
she's like,
dead.
yeah.
Like this is a freaking lie. Like what the heck? What do you mean? No. So eventually she opens the door. She moves the dresser, opens the door. She sees that guy, and she's like, what the hell? Like, no, he's dead. And she walks out of that door, and she peeks over to the left, which was the end of the hallway. She sees me standing there.
Oh my
Her heart dropped. And the only thing she says is like, it was unbelievable. Like, but you were dead. Like, I saw a zombie there. Like
God.
like that's the first thing that came to her mind. Like I saw you standing there like a zombie, just like out of it, blood everywhere, just standing there.
Yeah.
Well, my daughters come out of the room as well, and I mean, my whole family runs to me. They all run to me, Daddy, and they giving me hugs and just, and I mean, I'm sure my wife felt relieved, you know, yet he's still alive.
Yeah.
And my daughters, my wife was, I'm fearing, I'm sure, to tell them like, hey, your father got shot in the head, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing they asked when she went in the room, where's Daddy? I don't know.
Oh, and
I don't know.
I get she's probably already in the mourning process in that room going, "Oh my gosh," like a million things go through your head. Now what? And who's going to save us? And my husband's dead. I mean, that's just terrifying. That just adds to the terror.
Yeah. So I mean, she literally throws my arm around her to support me, and
Mm,
we walk out of that house. We go straight through that hallway. At the end of the hallway, there's a garage door. We literally just walked through there. The overhead was open already, and we just walk out that house. And that's when finally, eventually, the PD shows up.
uh-huh.
The PD shows up. They see this woman with the man, around with a pistol in his head. So, they don't know what's going on. They're in for a
Right.
surprise, like crazy surprise. They see a gun, of course, they all point their gun towards me,
Hmm.
drop your weapon. And I'm just out of it. My wife, hey, drop your weapon, drop your gun, drop your gun. And she has to tell me, she told me that she had to tell me a bunch of times until I finally threw my Glock on the rocks. I just
Yeah.
threw them right there on the floor. They came, surrounded me. They finally went into the house, and they told us to go across the street on the opposite corner and go sit on the curb.
Hmm.
I'm bleeding now with the headshot, and they tell us to go sit over there.
No
So
ambulances there yet.
no, nothing. So I sit down. I sit down next to my wife, and my wife doesn't know. Like, she's still, in disbelief. So she FaceTimes my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law. FaceTimes them, and she's like hysterically like, what this happened and this, and they're like, what the heck is going on? Like, did you guys fight? Like, what's going on? Like, no, your brother got shot. And that she puts the camera on my face, and I'm just full of blood, and my brother was just like, couldn't believe it. Just, he was already ready to go to bed, and like, he talks to her, and they're just, we're going back and forth, on this FaceTime
Do you have
chat.
pictures of this? Did you guys get pictures of what you looked like at that exact moment?
No, I only
Oh,
have pictures of what my wife, or yeah, my wife took a picture of me, but I'm already like after surgery,
yeah.
patched
Okay.
up and
Yeah.
everything. I actually wanted to.
I know.
I'm
I'm like,
hoping
oh,
I
I
want to
like
get
that kind of
pictures, because
stuff.
I'm sure the hospital at least took pictures of what I look like,
Yeah. Yeah.
coming in. I want those pictures, definitely.
Yeah.
So finally, my wife gets up, leaves me there, and runs to the other opposite corner of, where the police. And she tells him, like, hey, my husband's going to bleed out. Like, what the heck? Where's the ambulance? Oh, they're on their way. She's like, no. Either you guys take him or get the hell up, move your cars away from my car, or I'm taking my husband. If he
Yeah.
dies, it's on your hands.
That's right.
So, she stands up for herself, stands up for me and everything. And finally, one of the cops throws me in the back of a cop car. Hospital's only a few minutes away.
Oh, geez. So where is the ambulance then?
Yeah. So, takes me, they drop me off there. And, they take me in, do scans, try to stop the bleeding. And then eventually they air me to another hospital that had like
Mhm.
a trauma center. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so they took me to another hospital, and my wife's asking about me, and the cops are just like, ma'am, we can't tell you anything. It's an open investigation. Like,
Oh,
where's my
geez.
husband? Yeah.
What? That's
So
strange.
she didn't know what happened to me, or, my status, until the next day, until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, trying to
Wow.
call hospitals, call this, and always It's an open investigation. We can't tell you until she finally gets a call. Hey, your husband's alive. He's in critical condition. You can come see him, but visitation is over at, 8 o'clock or whatever. So literally, you have 2 hours to get here and to see him, and then you got to get out of here.
That's ridiculous. Although he saved a bunch of people's lives and he's a national hero, you've got 2 hours. But it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So
Yeah.
she goes, and at that point, my parents, drove in from Cali. My brother, he's in Northern Cali, so he's about 11, 12 hours away.
Mm,
But that same night, he just drove straight over
yep.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, so they didn't know if I was dead or alive, and
Mm,
finally they get a call from that hospital and say, hey, he's alive, critical condition, you can come see him, but hurry up.
amazing. Wow. So, all right. There's so many things that were done wrong by the police and the hospital and all this stuff. Um, what kind of coverage did this get, like as far as news? Because this goes very much against the gun
Yeah,
narrative,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So, I mean, it got some coverage because, of course,
I didn't hear about it, so
but
not
yeah,
enough.
nobody
Yep.
really heard. And even till this day, like, people are still like, oh my God, I live in Arizona. I've never heard about this.
Yeah.
Literally, a comment or a text that somebody sent me. Hey, like thankfully you're alive, you're a hero. I didn't hear about this until 2 days ago, and it's been 7 months. It's about to be 8 months. Small coverage, uh nothing, national coverage.
Nope.
I know once I got out of the hospital, Fox reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
They reached out to me, one of their the reporters, and he kept, hey, I want to interview. I kept denying it, saying no, like, hey, I'm not ready, or I don't trust the
Right.
media and things like that. But I eventually did. I opened up. I went to the Fox Studios right there in downtown Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
did an interview, and that was about it.
Okay.
That
So
was about it.
not even Fox National News, just local
Yeah,
Fox.
and yeah, just local Fox,
Okay.
just local Fox, and that's when I have a really, really great close cousin that I see him, like a big brother. We grew up together, way older than me, but I'm like his little brother. So
Mm-hmm.
he's out in Virginia. He lives out there. He literally lives probably about 10 minutes from the NRA headquarters.
Oh.
So he goes in, talks to somebody from the NRA headquarters, gets contact names and emails, and then he creates this group email. This is my cousin. This happened to him. He CCs me on it, and he added all the people from the NRA,
Mm-hmm.
and just instantly replied back like, hey, let's do a Zoom call. I want to hear more.
Yeah.
So we did a Zoom call, told my story. They heard everything, and I'm sure they looked it up of whatever small coverage it got, and they're like, this is something, like, wow,
Yeah.
like this is amazing.
Yeah.
We want to fly out there from Virginia and make a video.
Okay.
So the NRA, they, that following Friday, they actually, I wrote a script. We kind of worked together to write that and make something,
Mm-hmm.
tell the story, but in a
Yep.
short video that was just powerful and impactful to people, to so they can finally open their eyes, that
Yeah.
the Second Amendment, it's here to protect us.
Yep.
you
Did you
know
ever find out if the weapons he had were illegal or if they were legal? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he was a army vet,
Mm.
army
Maybe.
vet, and he was a current army recruiter here in the city of Surprise.
Wow. Wonder if this is a PTSD thing. It
Could be
sure
the
sounds like it.
PTSD along with the battle of family custody and all that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
kind of,
Oh, poor thing.
doesn't matter.
No.
There's no excuse for mass
No.
murder like
No.
that.
No.
I
No.
don't
No.
care
No.
what you're going through.
No. Yeah.
It's no excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, it just showed where his heart was, and at the end of the day, he was, you know,
Yeah. That's wow. So, okay. So you're ready to start speaking out. You're speaking at the 2A rally this weekend, right?
yes,
With me. Yep. Okay. My goal is I want to get you up. Like, I'm going to make a video about this on my Instagram and see how many podcasters want to get you on the show. Are you ready
For
to use
sure.
your voice? Yeah, are you?
I'm ready.
Um,
Actually, I mean, after all this, and especially with the help of the NRA, they've been great. They've been more than great. I mean, amazing. They flew out just to, for me to tell my story. They put
mhm.
me in contact with a lot of people. They told my story to a lot of people. That's how I actually got invited to be on Tucker. So I was on Tucker.
Oh, good.
Uh, I mean, put me in contact with a lot of more people. So that helped to get my story out there. And
Hmm.
honestly, at that point, I saw how powerful this message was, and
Hmm.
just thinking about, like, hey, what if I wasn't carrying? What
I
if it
know.
was
Yeah.
illegal to carry? What
Yep.
if I couldn't carry?
Yep.
What would have happened? You know,
Yep.
am
We
I
know
still
what
going
would
to
have happened.
carry? Am I not going to carry? If I
Mm-mm.
was carrying, like these other states that, don't allow it to conceal carry, and you defend yourself, now all of a sudden you just incriminated yourself and you're going to prison.
Right. This is
So
why. This is why these
I'm
laws are
like,
so important.
yeah, so I'm like, this story is powerful, and people
It
need
is.
to, rise up and
Yep.
know and finally realize
Mm.
that, the Second Amendment is here to protect us, and we must fight. We must fight to keep it as
Yes.
much as we can.
Yeah.
So actually, just, small things like that. So I'm actually speaking up. I'm trying to just get out there, get my story out there, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do to, help people with this powerful story. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm teaming up with a really good friend that I met because of the situation, but we've become very close. And I came up with an idea like, hey, I don't see this much often, but how do people get prepared for a life or death situation? They need to
Hmm.
train. Not anybody can go out there and spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars to go train. So
Hmm.
I'm like, hey, let's start making content and making videos on training people with gun
Yep.
safety, gun training, and start off our first video with taking it back to the basics. Why own
Yeah.
a firearm? Why own a
Right.
firearm? Introduction of firearms, different types of firearms, rifles, pistols, and then breaking it down with each individual, and then just start going with the whole, training. What can you do
Yeah.
at home to better prepare yourself? And
Yeah.
it goes back to that, to, hey, if 10 minutes a day, holster your gun, but be safe about it, don't have it loaded, learn how to, draw your pistol
Hmm.
and point it correctly, hold it correctly, so that if you are in a life or death situation, you're not trying to pull out your gun, but you just don't know how to hold it, don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
So, as of now, I will continue to speak
Yep.
about my story. I mean, this story to me is an open book to anybody. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna continue to just
Good.
spread that Second
Good.
Amendment and just be that living proof
Yeah.
that, guns in the hands of law-abiding citizens, does save lives, because
Yes.
the media doesn't want. They don't want people to hear that. They don't want to,
No.
people to hear those stories. They just want to hear, like, hey, this guy died from gun violence. This other person
Right.
died from
Yeah.
gun violence. This one.
Oh,
But
look at all these women and children that were killed because of a gun. It's like, wait a
how
minute
many people
now.
were actually saved because of a
Yeah.
firearm?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
you want to get crazy? It's like, why does law enforcement carry firearms?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why
A
do they
whole
carry
extra point.
firearms?
Yeah.
If they kill and all this, and you know what? Let's have our law enforcement just with pepper spray and whistles.
That's right. Because guns are
So
necessary.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I'm so excited. I'm excited to share your story. I think people will be so inspired and encouraged to, you know, train themselves and consider carrying and being aware and alert that at a family barbecue this could happen. So,
it happened
um,
anywhere.
it can happen anywhere. Yep. And I'm very, very proud of you. I'm very proud of your wife.
Yeah, me too.
Gosh, I mean, you guys, what a family. I would love to be in a room with you if that ever happened. So, um, let's do a cheers. I'm very excited to see what you're cheersing to, and we're going to get your message out there.
Okay.
All right. So you get to decide what we're cheersing to.
I have nothing to, but you know what? I have my water bottle, so
Do it. Perfect. I got cold
I I,
coffee. So
I just want to cheer. I mean, cheers to life, family, and the freedom.
mm, that's perfect. Raul, thank you so much for your courage, your bravery, your toxic masculinity and your Second Amendment rights. Very excited to share your message and inspire other people. And thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much for having me. I will see you this Saturday.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to the Patriot Barbie podcast. Follow me on Truth Social at The Patriot Barbie and Instagram at the.patriot.barbie. Subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your friends. You can find this show, my book Targeted, and my apparel line on www.patriotbarbie.com. God bless America and God bless you.
Are you worried about spike proteins and how they may impact your health? Are you looking for help? The Wellness Company has an answer in the form of our clean, pure, all-natural spike formula developed by experts like Dr. Peter McCullough. The Wellness Company's spike formula includes the incredible nattokinase, dandelion root, black sativa extract, green tea, and iris sea moss. Even better, the spike formula by the Wellness Company is vegan, gluten-free, and made right here in the US, so you know that you can trust and rely on it if you're concerned about spike proteins.